Okay, everything's on. Henry G, what's up, brother? Hope things are well for you today. Things are well here. Sunny. Made it to about 65 today, I think. Not as warm as the other day, damn it. Hmm. Yeah, another day in paradise. I hear that. Well, if y'all ain't heard the big news, Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself. He was murdered. What's it been, 20 years now? Good detective work there. That was all cover up. I didn't read the whole story, but it's on multiple outlets. Not sure if they have a suspect. What is a suspect? Suspect's dead. Who knows? How that long? I don't even know if they have a case, depending on what state you live in. Of course, in the Northeast or Northwest, anything's possible. Bay is still frozen, but it's been above freezing past couple of days. Yeah, same here. We pretty much had a micro summer. I mean, it went from 38 degrees for the high Sunday or Monday, and then the very next day, 73. Pull that shit in California, have an earthquake. Yeah, I know there's no statutes on murder, but you know how they let everybody go free up there. Bay is still frozen. Good time for ice fishing. Like I said, I did that once. And it was behind a reservoir, and they'd let water out. Ice don't move. Water does. And 12 feet to the water. I was like, no, I'm not. No. I can swim real well, but where am I going to swim to? I mean, you could make it to shore, but then you're under foot ice. And burr. By the time I don't have, you'd be frozen to death anyway. Hypothermia is quick. I got it a few times back in the day. Frostbite's the worst. My dad got it real bad on his fingers. And they'd turn black all the time and shit. Anyway, got a new knife I want to tell you all about once we get a few people up in here. One I've been waiting for 5 weeks for. Literally, actually 5.5. Mr. Mouse, what's going on, brother? Hope you're having a fine day. Yeah, Kaiser finally decided to get off their butt. I don't even know who the hell was carrying it. It was by some track 79 or 76 I had to go to even find the tracking on it. And I wasn't here when it showed up, and I forgot to ask Barb who brought it. But I was thinking UPS because they have letters before their numbers. But UPS stated they never had the knife, so I don't know how it got here. But it's a little mini Milita. It was a birthday thing from Kaiser. First week of January, they posted a birthday giveaway. But the weird thing about it was they went all the way back to January of 2025 and then every month till December, all on one page, one post. And 2 people in each month won a knife. And when they got to December, I was one of the guys. So I'm not sure if it was something they just randomly did through our signing into their page. They had all our info. I don't know. I don't really remember signing up for a Kaiser birthday giveaway. Jason, how's it going today, brother? But there was a random knife. They said it would, you get whatever you get. And I kind of put in my notes to them when I sent them my address. I said, hey, I don't have a Milita. And this is what they sent, which I did stay green and black just to keep it on the cheap side, which is my colors anyway, which is what I would purchase if I was to buy one. The only thing is they sent the mini, which is fine. Now that I get to hold the mini a little bit, I can make a judgment on purchasing the full size. It's great action and everything. Nitro V steel. Jimping sucks. It's below the frame, so basically I guess all the jimping's for is the front flipper, which works rather well for my short thumbs. No lefty. Sure most of you know that by now. This thing's been out a couple years. Deep carry. Carries well. Really nice carry. I just wish they do the blades black when they do tactical knives like this, when they make them look tactical, I find that a lot, especially with Kaiser. You won't get a coated blade with OD green or black. I mean, you can get the coated blade with other colors, which never made any sense to me. Paul Mills, how's it going? Yeah, nice little snappy bastard. Sent me extra screws too. That one seems a little high. That one isn't. Maybe it needs a tightening and then sure it's a 6 too, ain't it? No, maybe not. Let's look. Well, 8 fits in there. Really? Yeah. T8s. Wow. But it is tight. That is weird. I don't know how to tighten it anymore, but it is a little, you can see how it sticks up there a little wee bit. And the other ones are all flush. I'll take that out of there. Maybe there's something in there, or they didn't tap the hole long enough or something, but I'll check it out. I stole it. What'd you steal? Yeah, they sent me this and this. And the circle on the date I got it. So that's why that's circled. It's a little calendar, little clippy Kaiser Bear thingies, paper thing. You had to put it together. Okay, I dig it. Wrench, what? That's wrench. Mick, what's going on, Mick? Mo Patty, how you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, there's the mini Milita. Well, now I finally get, like I said, feel one up and make a decision on buying the big one, which I probably will somewhere down the line. Or win one. Yeah, I didn't know if I'd get anywhere by saying, I really don't have a Milita at the time for my collection because it was a random pull. This is what they sent. So, kudos to them. Another Kaiser for the collection. This is the one that's really getting to me. I like this little bastard. But I don't know if you can hear this. Where's the microphone? Probably over here. You hear that first pull? It's got a real ting to it. And then a real snappy snap. That's the trestle. Of course, Most of you guys have seen this one. Yeah, I like that. It just really, and the jimping works on this one all the way to where it should be. So yeah. It's got a really, really serious walk and talk though. It even tings when you do that. But this trips me out. Really interesting sound there. And then my old favorite, the Beyond. I've got a Odin and something else. I can't remember what it is. They're currently not in my grasp. I didn't know I was going to do a Kaiser thing today, so I didn't go dig anything out. So now we got a few people in here. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Makes y'all look like cops. What? Mr. Mouse, this has been like that for a few days. Late to the discovery. Uh-oh, what did I miss? No, I mean the wrench. Turned into a shield. Oh, yeah. The wrenches are gone. Yeah, they did that a few weeks back. They put shields on it now. I guess it was a better way of saying we're blocking you. I don't know. You know, they change shit every 6-7 weeks. One day your name's this, 2 weeks from now it might not be. So who knows? Anyway, some of you weren't here a little bit ago. One of my little bits of news this morning was Kurt Cobain is now officially, case has been switched to murder. If anybody's interested in that 20-year-old fiasco. And there was something else. It was right there. I'll think of it though. Yeah, slide this over just a wee. Oh, and Lefty's got his channel back now. He put a post up this morning. Not the original, I don't think, by the way he was talking. Or no, it was the gun channel I think he had to get back yet. Or he said something about a channel that he said one more he had to get fixed. But anyway, I think his YouTube channel's back. Yeah, they said it's on 3 or 4 different agencies this morning that Kurt Cobain's suicide has now been reclassified due to newer information and who knows what. I don't know. I didn't get it. It was just coming full blown on as I was getting ready to go live. So there's more to read, I'm sure. G-Monetta, what's going on? Coffee indeed. Could use some. I didn't get my full 2 cups this morning. Things got crazy jumping out of bed. Had to run out. Had to go down here to the job site where they're building what we now found out to be 2 townhouses instead of 1 house that's in this neighborhood. And I hope they're not rentals. But anyway, they got a lot of scrap lumber laying around. I went down to talk to them about getting their cutoffs for my fire pit and maybe even do some other things with it. They're big enough. And I was really discouraged. First of all, I'm going to say a disclaimer. I have no issues with anybody coming over here and starting a new life, as long as they do it the legal way. But there's not one person down there on that job site, even the boss, that knows a lick of English. Not one. And there are about 15, 20 of them down there. I don't understand why our young people today aren't getting into skills like that, because you're going to need them. It's not really that difficult to build a house, to be honest. If you can read a tape measure, you can build pretty much anything. I just don't understand. We, as a people, American people, out, you know, number wise, any illegals that are here now. I don't understand why they get all the jobs and why our people are just lazy, I guess. I don't freaking know. But back in the day, you had a job site like that, you'd have a couple of helpers that were new to the country, and the rest of them were all just American guys. And when I mean by countries, I mean any country. I've had Polish on my job sites, I've had Germans, you know, Africans, European, it don't matter. All walks of life. But it was only a couple. That was the whole crew. Just like the Irish. Yeah. Irish in North Carolina had a bad name for a good while. They would literally build communities and start construction companies and build like houses and shit. But when they're in a, like say they're out of east side of North Carolina and they're here building houses for a company. Well, they'd go around the neighborhoods and replace roofs and, you know, do small jobs on houses that need replaced, and they were ripping people off left and right. They were taking the down payment money and running. And they had to track these people down. They found out they actually live in these developments. Sort of like what an HOA would look like to most of you. You know, kind of gated community type of thing. And here they were taking all that money to support that community and build them homes and everything. But they was robbing people left and right. So they finally put a stop to that shit. But yeah, it's crazy what goes on today. Christ, when I was young, if I could have got a job swinging a hammer, I was there. Paid decent, always did. And outside's one of the best jobs to have. I don't know. I just don't get young people today. That's another thing, too. None of them fellas down there are young. They're all in their 40s and 50s. Every one of them. They didn't even have a young guy picking up scrap. The youngest guy I saw was probably in his late 30s. You really went outside. You do this shit to me every time I push that live button. You know that. Well, you don't like to hear me talk into the phone? Act like a retard? All right, whatever. Come on. Hey.
Hi.
Live. What you got there?
Which one do you want?
Which one do I want? Oh, I'm sure Nana's going to take the frog. I'll take the green dude.
Okay.
My granddaughter.
Here you go.
Say hi.
It's a sticker.
There's no, it's the other's way.
Yeah.
So just say hi.
Hi.
Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Kind of looks like a bear. I don't know what it is, some kind of sticker, 3D sticker thing she just gave me. What I miss? Yeah, I mean, roofing, framing, foundation work, running pipe, running electrical. I don't get our youth today. I don't. And they're getting money somewhere because little bastards got it running up down 70 all the time, and they're little Zoomers spending thousands of dollars a week to make something louder and shittier. I know if you got the right money, yeah, you can make them little overseas cars. Pretty cool, but I grew up in the muscle area, so it just, I know they're quicker, they're faster, they're handle better in corners and blah, 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 blah. Drag racing was our thing. We didn't do corners. Yeah, it was damn good money for a kid. Yep. Especially back then. Hell, I used to pick up scrap. I've got several jobs doing that. Walk by a job site and say, hey, you got a ground guy? No. I'll be your ground guy. Hell, I get $100 a day for that. Throwing shit up to people, handing shit people, cleaning up the job site areas. They throw shit down, stuff like that. Hell yeah. We always loved them little temporary jobs, even if we had full-time jobs. I remember one summer I had 3 freaking jobs. Worked for the city during the day, doing maintenance on the roads and whatnot, cleaning gutters, whatever, parks, mowing parks and stuff. And after that was over, I ran home, changed clothes, ate something real quick, went to the restaurant until 11 o'clock at night. Then on the weekends, I had state park job. So that's what it was all about back then. Staying busy. Yeah. Oh, I hear you there on the less part. Yeah. They're probably working for what we did 20, 30 years ago. That is true. Okay, you're back. I thought that dog wanted in, but Barb's back. They all left me. Oops, wrong way. That's a dumb way to do that. Oh, these dogs, I swear. Hey, Barb.
He told me to get out. He said, don't come back. I'll get her. And then he goes out and gets her, takes her in the house, gets her phone number, and gives her his phone number. I took weed out of that bag. Plus, she just gave me the weed. And she went right back in and picked out. What do you want?
Live.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go get the dog. All right. Let me see what's going on here. Especially 98 or 88. Yeah, what we at? Brand New American. What's going on? So anyway, yeah, Kurt Cobain's thing's been ruled a homicide now. I'll check more about it when I get off here. Like I said, I just found out right before I got on here. Of course, it's old news. It was posted yesterday, but there are several outlets that was attached to this. What I was reading, it said the same thing. And then for those of you that weren't here, we'll go through this one more time. I got Mini Milita as a birthday gift from Kaiser. No idea how we got in the birthday giveaway. A lot of people are saying on my post that I put on Kaiser once I showed this yesterday, how did you get in the thing? And I said, I really don't remember, but I know that they just put one post up for January of 2025 to December 2025 with 2 names on each month, and this is what they sent us. I don't know if it was just something random they did. I don't know, because I honestly don't remember signing up for any giveaway that I normally would. I know I signed up for Tenables and got something. What was that? Oh, the little green knife. This damn thing. Yeah. Yeah. What's the name of this stupid thing? Anomaly. Now, I did sign up for this one in late November. They put up in Tenable birthday giveaways for December. And then I and somebody else was picked for that. But it's kind of funny when I looked at the on their site, because they did theirs by month, where Kaiser did theirs for a whole year. And I was looking on the birthdays, and there's only so many people that signed up each month anyway. I thought that was peculiar. Like in my month, there was like 8 people that signed up for the giveaway. So there was only 8 birthdays out of 30,000 people that are in the group. I don't know. Maybe a lot of them live out of state, or I don't know. I think it's worldwide when they do that, because all their shit comes from China anyway. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Just waking up one morning and finding your name on a giveaway. You don't have no idea how you got there. And the post is for a whole year. So 2 people from every month from 2005 got some kind of knife. So like I said, I don't know if they used our bios from Facebook, being it's all Facebook connected. I don't know. If we knock out a job quick, yeah. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you get done from scheduling, get done early, oh, yeah, you get a bonus. That's kind of what I was doing briefly before I moved here in 2007. I was working for a contractor, and he kind of done that shit. But the only problem with him is we were doing a warehouse for a carpet company that was coming into town, and it was a 60 by 40. Well, the building was put up, just a shell. We had to put in the doors, the ceilings, the offices, pretty much all the interior work, all the wiring, the plumbing. And I get there, and he backs a U-Haul trailer up into the place, unloads all the materials that we needed for the beginning of the job, and then leaves. So I had to go hire a crew. And then he's like, well, I want you to start doing this for me. I'll just drop the shit off the job. You get it done. Well, then I started chasing around for money. I had to start chasing around for materials. And I had enough of that shit, packed the car, and ended up here. So y'all know how that rolls too, I'm sure. I hate chasing contractors for money. Job's done. The job's done. Give me my damn money. The excuses I have heard. Phenomenal. It's out of my pay grade. Well, despite it looks like your pay grade. Always be the same. My dear friend. It was our generation. Yeah. Yeah, right. I haven't, I'll tell you, to be honest, I haven't even, other than signing my name, I haven't written in cursive in 30 years, maybe. I mean, there was no need for it after letters went dead. And I didn't write very many letters in my day, other than either legal documents or, I don't know. I don't know. God, I don't really remember. I think basic training was the last time I ever sent a letter out to anybody, to be honest. I don't know. It's crazy. Cool. That's good. Yeah, I worked with my dad. Any waking minute I had extra and whatever he had his hand into at the time, from race cars to gunsmithing. Who knows? Trying to put it back in. Yeah, I've been hearing some stories about a lot of stuff getting put back into schools. Old Trumpy baby signed some executive orders here not too long ago for the Department of Education to get on their ass and get some shit done. And a quick geo note, Russia invaded Baltic states with a Su-35 fully loaded missiles and ship missiles, air-to-air missiles, and a bomb. So NATO ran them off without incident. Other than that, Russia's just still poking the line, seeing what the hell's going to happen. I don't know. According to everybody, all their top officials in Russia, they'll be in a war with NATO within the year. So it's their choice. See what happens. On the edge, what's going on, brother? Hope you're having a fine day. Be a bigger headache listening to the kid. Just mean. He knows better. Yeah, what up on the edge? Did you take that money from that knife and get you a new one yet? Being lazy. Yeah, I was going to be lazy today. That didn't happen. Kind of had a hell of a time getting out of bed. I don't know. I get this every once in a while. I get this, like, I don't know, like I haven't slept for a year feeling. I can't keep my eyes open. I have no energy. And it lasts for like a week, every 3 months, roughly. I don't know what the hell that's all about. Playing video games. Yeah, but the bastards are making money at it. Some of them, it's like football. 1 out of 20,000 might make $1. Like YouTube. But yeah, gaming, yeah. I got, we never really, my group never really got into it. I mean, I had the first Ataris and shit when they came out, but I played for an hour or two, and I didn't really grasp the concept of beating the game, I guess, is what you were supposed to do. I mean, my thing was just playing to get to a level, not really trying to beat the shit out of the game. Or, of course, we didn't have communication like we do today, where you're talking to other players at the same time and everything else, and doing mods and buying mods and all kinds of weird shit they can do today. But it was cool. It was sort of like a jump from no technology in the house to a little bit of technology. If you kind of think about it, we were weaned into this shit. Because, we had the first, like, Pong. Then from Pong, a couple consoles, then Duck Hunt. And as it raised up, we got to grow with the technology to where anybody born in the last 20 years got thrown right into technology. They started out with it to where our age people were weaned into it. We saw it happen, saw it grow. A lot of our generation created what you're using today. Yeah, Duck Hunt was a shit, man. Yeah, it was different. Oh. We were young, we play video games, get bored. Yeah. Yeah, you get bored of a video game real quick, especially if you couldn't get past a certain level. Yeah, you just throw the controller down, throw it in the box, push it under the TV or whatever, and go outside. That was the whole thing. We spent most of our time outside, no matter what age you were. There's just better things to do out there. My kids are getting raised like me want to get working. Yeah, right. Exactly. To peel my kid's face off the screen like every other parent. It's a struggle for sure. Yeah, I'm kind of glad Billy and Nikki both played video games, but nothing like they do today. I mean, it was about I don't know, Billy'd stay on it, but he did it at night. You know, after everything calmed down and shit, he'd just go to his room and play video games till bedtime and then go to bed, get up for school. But he never really got into that talking to each other and shit and teaming up and doing all the stuff they do today. I like a video game every now and then. Good war game. I really like the robot games though, like Mech Assault, shit like that. You and your lone mech try to save the world type shit. Not into that multi-role playing stuff. I just like to chill out with a couple beers and fatty and kick ass on some robots. It's been a while since I've done that. You know, it's been 5-6 years since I even touched a controller, probably. Pong is still fun. Oops, wrong ashtray. Don't want that happening. 4:37 already? Good. Yeah, we're only doing this for an hour, so I'm not going to keep you all much longer. Really, I was almost going to cancel. Really ain't nothing going on. But by the time I got done doing shit around here and waiting on something Barb was doing, it got to be in time to be in live. I didn't have time to post anything. So I said, hell with it, we'll just go live, show my new knife off, which is this one for those of you who haven't saw it. Mini Milita. Just some Kaisers. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about these bastards. Remember last Wednesday, I think it was, right? Yeah, Wednesday, I think. I received some watches, and I haven't wore a watch in, God, 40 years, whatever. Because I don't like getting caught on shit, for one. And I used to beat the hell out of my watches with my actions and the way my life is. I use my hands a lot and smash my watches all the time. So I gave up on them a long time ago. Started using a pocket watch. Well, I'm going back to a pocket watch because just yesterday, I took a walk to the store, threw my backpack on, got up to the store, went to take backpack off, the strap slid down my arm, caught my watch, ripped the band right off of it, and smashed into my hand and gave me a nice little bruise. Which, evidence right there. So yeah, I don't wear watches anymore. So these two bastards are sitting up here because they're going to get gone. I'll throw them in a giveaway somewhere. They're like a military style, no big name, metal case. Nylon bands, military type mesh. Yeah, I'll throw them in a giveaway. They're keeping time, so hey. Yeah, first thing happened, man. I went to take the backpack off and that arm slid down and took the watch right off. It didn't break the pin, it just popped the pin out of there. And the watch hit the ground and I was like, damn, that hurt. And I looked down and here I got a big blood blister on my arm. I'm like, you bastard. Yeah, we'd run off all the time. And we'd always do the sneaky shit. I'm staying over at Billy's house. Billy's is staying in my house. And then we'd end up staying at actually somebody else's house or in the woods with things we weren't supposed to have and women we weren't supposed to be with. We all remember them days. What we trading? Yeah. 70s and 80s for me. The 90s were discouraging for me. Music changed overnight. A lot of people I hung with either ceased to exist or ran off and got married and a bunch of kids, to where I was still traveling, doing my thing. But yeah, the 90s kind of sucked, to be honest. It was more of 70s, 80s. Yeah, right. Yeah, we had to be put in our rooms. It's so true. Even though all our shit's there. I got grounded a few times. Our punishment usually wasn't grounding. It was usually something a lot more violent than that, but depending on what we did. If you were grounded to your room, that was a mom thing. If something else happened, that was a dad thing. As stated before, my father was a Marine, never came out of the Marines, raised me as a Marine from day one. So you can just imagine. Basic training, put it this way, Full Metal Jacket basic training for 17 years of my life. And I'm not bullshitting. That's why when I got the basic training, it was a joke. I didn't laugh. But I had the senior drill sergeant walk up to me 7 weeks into basic training after we switched from basic training to AIT, which is the same damn thing if you're infantry. So I'm not going to even get into that bullshit. But anyway, he does a inspection one morning, and he looks at me and goes, "Gertz, when did you get here?" I said, "Drill sergeant, I've been here since day one." "No, you haven't. You're lying." "No, I've been here since day one." And he looks over at the other drill sergeant and goes, "You've been here since day one. You must be fucking doing something right, because I haven't noticed you." And he walked away. I was like, "Yep, I just spent 17 years doing the same shit you're doing right now, buddy." So yeah, basic training was not hard at all, really, for me, mentally or physically, because I knew what was going to happen when I went in. So I trained before I went in. End of that story. Yeah, fucked all the beatings. Mine usually wasn't. There was only a couple times it actually got super physical. But usually he'd stick to the usual military style punishments where they grab your shirt and pull it as far out as they can and then punch you in the chest until you wake up type shit. Or smack upside the head. Your folks didn't spare the rod. I hear that.
Okay.
Yes, dear.
When you're done using the phone, can I use it?
Yes, you can. And it's still fully charged.
Okay.
Because I learned how to turn the brightness down so the phone lasts longer.
When will you be done again? When will you be done?
I will be done in, let me find a clock here, 15 minutes.
Okay.
What up, Clint?
What else? Rosie?
Oh, just people coming into my chat, which I'm trying to read, but it's actually moving a little quick for me today. I was the youngest and only female. Oh, geez.
That's
It
me.
turned out as good as they did.
That's me.
We were split. We were 2 boys, 3 daughters.
I'm the only girl.
Of course, the youngest boy, after I left, he ended up getting all the shit. I even got calls from mom every once in a while to come get my brother.
I'm the only girl in our family.
Yeah, you are, aren't you? You got 3 brothers now. But yeah, my little brother, after I went in the military, he ended up getting all this shit because he wasn't like me. Mom raised him while me and dad was doing our things. And then when I left, my brother didn't know a lot of things that I knew. So yeah, which I guess was my dad's fault because he should have had him trained too, right? I don't know. Back in the day, what can you do? So that's where military. Yep. They did it when I was in basic training as well, but 89-ish, I want to say, there was a rule put down to all military. They weren't allowed to touch recruits no more, period. I mean, literally nothing. I'll tell you, the day we got off the bus, we went to Fort Jackson to do our admin shots, testing, dumb paperwork. We already knew we were going. We were all going to Fort Benning. Basically just to slowly for 2 weeks kind of give us an idea of what we're in for, which was a total fucking lie. Because when we got to Fort Benning, this dude jumped on the bus, looked at us with a smile. And by the time he was done saying shit and grabbing people and throwing them off the bus, people were climbing out the windows, trying to get out of the bus. It was hilarious. But yeah, they took everybody's duffel bag out, just threw it on the ground as they're screaming at everybody to run up this one little walkway to get to the bigger walkway where they're trying to get everybody in line. And as they're doing that, they're grabbing people, throwing them on the ground, kicking them in their ribs and everything else, and making them do push-ups and watching people cry and all. It was, yeah. If you could imagine 100 bullets flying over your head for an hour, the intensity that would cause, that's exactly what that first hour was. It was just total chaos. Was really nuts, but yeah, they're not allowed to do that shit. Matter of fact, I watched a videotape on YouTube a year or two ago about recruits getting to Fort Benning now and all that stuff, and it's like a 2-hour long deal too. Yeah, they sit them in little circles and explain everything to them, and I was like, whoa. We never had that happen to us. There was no explaining shit. You either got it right the first time or you were done. Yeah, things changed a lot since I was in. Of course, I joined right after Vietnam. Everybody that was above me was just out of Nam or finishing up their tour. It was 5 years after Nam was over when I joined. So they still had that mentality, which was good on my part because pretty much everybody that trained me after basic training was 100% double, triple combat tours in Nam. So I got it right from the horse's mouth. Dwayne, what's going on, brother? Navy Seabees, yeah. Even the Navy was pretty tough back in the day. But then a buddy of mine, well, when I joined the Army, the couple of guys I was in the Explorers with, which if any, you know what the Explorers are, it's run by the Boy Scouts of America. And instead of like having a little Boy Scout thing, they're like, I think you had to be 14 or 15. 15 to 17, I think it was. Maybe 14, but I'm thinking 15 to 17. But they would put you with the police, the fire departments, the National Guard. That's where I went. And stuff like that. And every once a month, you would, for a weekend, go out with that, whatever branch you thought you might be interested in. which I knew where I was going. So I went to local infantry Army National Guard branch. I was shooting M16s and M60s and 45s 2 years prior to me even getting to basic training. So they were pissed I didn't come back. And well, I did kind of do some work for them on leave, but they were pissed I didn't join the unit after they spent 2 years of training me there. Not picking on me. Kick the crap out of me. Good thing my older sister watched my back. You know, I had an older sister. Next one down for me. She didn't take no shit. But yeah, my brother, he got the bad. He was kind of the run of the family. Well, I'm not going to get into that in the open air, but it's crazy growing up. Would I change things? Would you change things if you had the chance? So, if you could go back and do it all over again, I'm sure some of us would. There are a few I would do different. When basic training was over with and they asked for anybody that wanted to go to Ranger school and everything, I should have went. I don't know why I didn't. I think my mentality at the time was it was just nothing new to me. So I just wanted to get home and party with my boys for a month. What's up, Beach 80? So I didn't stick around for I think it's another 13 weeks or some shit. You had to stay there. Yeah, I wish I would have done that. I wish I'd have went to Ranger school. And I wish I'd have stayed in. I wish I wouldn't have got talked into quitting after 6 years. I'd have done 20 or more, which is probably what I should have done. But I listened to a blonde woman at the time who was having my first child. And then when I decided to get out, it wasn't a week or two later, she ran off with some preacher dude. So then I became a drunk for a while. Just went to work, drank, ran to bars. Then decided, it was boring. Started traveling the world, or not the world, but the States, truck driving for 10 years. And then back to building shit, and now nothing. Now I'm a YouTuber. Ooh. What a ranking. But you get to tell cool stories. Well, if you have any. Oops, there goes my tools. I'll leave it there for now. Leon, what's going on? Glad to see you, man. Anyway, if you just come in, got me a mini Milita in my favorite colors. Except the blade should be black. It's my only complaint. And the jimping. It's below the frame. Mainly because it's for the front flipper. But yeah, nice little unit. Nitro V D2 or Nitro V G10. G10. Lines right up real nice. I wanted the original big Milita, but they found it in their hearts to send me the mini. Just can't bitch. It's free. Want it on our Kaiser birthday that nobody understands how we got into it. They did a whole year on one post. So January, February, March of 2025, last year, they divvied up 2 people with 2 free knives each month. And this was mine. That and the calendar. Paper calendar thing. Oh, I found kind of comical about it. You see the thing in there, the picture thingy? Well, these 2 bear things weren't on it. You had to literally take a piece of peel back off and stick the 2 bears on the clampy thing. And then you had the full setup. A little cool thing. I use calendars. You see, like even on my phone, I know there's a clock there, but I'll still look at the clock on the wall. I literally walk from the kitchen with the phone in my hand and look at the clock on the wall. Still do it. Always remember, an alcoholic is someone who drinks more than you don't like. Well, I wouldn't say I'm full-blown alcoholic. I only drink on the weekends. Even then, during the week I do go to work or whatever. But because me and drinking and then trying to go to work the next day does not work at all. Especially back when I was drinking Budweiser, because I get these massive hangovers. So yeah, I didn't drink the night before work. And then when I went truck driving for 10 years, I basically didn't do anything because you can't have anything in your systems. And you sure the hell can't drink and drive. So I didn't even really do that unless I was off. Which when I first went out was far in between. I stayed out on the road for a long, long time. Oh, you leaving?
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a good one. Son-in-law just showed up to get the granddaughter. He's getting home from work. Give me huggies.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
I'll see you later.
Have a good weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, when I went truck driving, I stayed out. If my time was running out, I just pick a place that I want to go hang out, because you could do that back then. Now you really can't do it. I'd pick a place I'd want to be for a weekend or a week or whatever. Say, get me a load there, and they would. Unhook the trailer, put a lock on it, bobtail around. And you used to be able to do that too. They didn't give a shit. That was one of the perks of being a truck driver, especially on your 2 weeks off. Now I'd send me to so-and-so, and I'd hang out with a buddy I ain't seen in 10, 20 years that I grew up with or some shit. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. All this computerized shit. I got out of it right when all the computer shit started happening with tracking you, and instead of doing you still did logs. Instead of calling your dispatcher, everything was on a keyboard thing. Qualcomm, I think it was called. But then we found out a way to get away around it. We'd take galvanized buckets and put it on them little round things they had on top of our sleepers. So if we didn't want them to know where we were at the moment and we were off duty, we just put a little galvanized bucket on top. So, well, guys, it's 4:58. This whole thing started out with Kurt Cobain's suicide is now being ruled a murder, homicide. That happened just right before I got on here, and a couple of different outlets were reporting the same. An Su-35 Russian jet fully loaded with munitions invaded NATO airspace. They had to run him off. So Russia's still poking the bear. And Kaiser sent me a knife for my birthday, and the rest of it you all are here for, pretty much. So with that said, I'm going to let you all fine people get on with your day. And might see you Monday. Might not, depending on what's going on. And we'll see you around the chats this weekend. Lefty got his channel back. For those of you that don't know, he put a post up this morning. That's pretty much about it. Y'all take care. Good seeing y'all. Really. Thanks for coming. Putting up my shit for an hour. And carry on. Have a fine day and excellent weekend, people. Peace.